This is one of the most severe cases of hoarding that I've ever dealt with. She told me I was just going to be moving a few things and it would only take a couple hours. It's honestly, the job is doable. I'm not complaining about the job. It's that everything is covered in rat feces. And she wants me to go and sleep and then just start over in the morning. I need to sterilize myself and clean every inch of my body. Gene Hackman died because of a rodent infestation. I'm not going out like Gene Hackman. We're just going to get right into this video. You guys remember my friend Dustin that went to the Philippines. Dustin was homeless, but he was living at the homeless shelter. He hyped this place up. He talked about how great it was, how they give you this gourmet food, how they have resources, they'll get you an apartment, they help you with paperwork. It's like a Christian homeless shelter. It's called the Lighthouse Shelter. I ended up moving in there. It's pretty nice. Dustin had been there for a couple months, so he knows everybody there. Even though it's a 30-day shelter, they will extend your 30 days if you're working towards some sort of goal. Dustin introduces me to this lady, this Chinese lady. She's Malaysian. Her name is Sue. Well, her name is Sook, S-O-O-K, but her nickname, I guess, is Sue. The way he introduces her, he says, "This is Sue. She's very rich, but she tries to pretend that she's poor." Dustin has a way of seeing people's true colors. Now, he wasn't saying this in a bad way. She's got a lot of money and trying to milk the system for as many resources as she can. And I tell her how I'm a reseller. She says, I was a property manager. The tenants were these Chinese foreign exchange kids, and they have a bunch of shoes. They left them and they went back to China. She says, I want to sell them to you. I said, cool. I ended up meeting up with her. All of the shoes were like badly worn down. They were just all in pretty bad shape. The storage unit that she brought me to, infested by rats. Regardless, she gave me a good deal. I think I got them for like $3 or $4 a pair. I sold some for $15. I think I sold another pair for like $30. It was very difficult to make the money on the shoes, but I made it. I ended up moving into the homeless shelter. It was too much for me to be able to do my reselling and then head to my storage and then drive back down to Chula Vista. I just couldn't get back on time for my curfew. I just can't do it. Plus, I go to the gym at nighttime. After I buy the shoes, she stays in contact with me. She's homeless living in her van, but she's on a waiting list to get subsidized senior housing. The reason she stays in contact with me, she needs help moving the things from her storage unit into her new apartment when she does get approved for her housing. I genuinely, in my heart, want to help this lady because I feel like she's a nice lady. So she asked me, how much will you charge me to move a few boxes from my storage to my new apartment? So I told her, I'm not going to charge you anything. But for me to drive down from where I'm at to where you're at, and to do that, it's going to cost me about $50 in gas. So I said, please just cover my gas of $50. So then this is where things started to change. When I asked her for the $50, she says, oh my gosh, you want $50 just for a couple of hours worth of work? I said, lady, I'm doing this for free. How much money do you think it costs to drive 4 hours? So when she doesn't want to cover the gas, that's when I start feeling some type of way. She starts texting me more frequently, asking me if I can use my truck to tow a U-Haul trailer. I told her, yes, I can do that, but my truck doesn't have a tow package. I have a tow package that I purchased. I just haven't installed it yet. I'm telling her that putting the tow package on is going to require a few hours worth of work. And for the tow package to be installed, I still need to buy the ball and the little slider piece that connects to the ball. What I was hoping is that she'd say, what do we need to do to get this done? Just tell me what we need to do and I'll cover the costs. But she doesn't mention any of that. She wants me to do this all for free. So I decide I'm not even going to do it. But I keep making up excuses about why I can't come and help her. So she finally gives up about me towing the trailer. She's renting a U-Haul truck and she asked me if I can help move some things from her storage into her new apartment, which is in downtown San Diego. She said it's not much. It'll take about 6 hours. How much will you charge me? Again, I'm trying to be nice. I don't want to overcharge her because I know she's hurting. So I said, give me $200. It's more like 150 because it's going to cost me 50 in gas. She has a fear of driving on the freeway and she can't drive the big truck, so she needs me to drive the U-Haul. I should have charged her extra for that, but I wasn't going to do it. I just said yes. She gets off work at 5, so I got to meet her at the U-Haul at 6. Since it's after hours, everything has to be done on the app, and the app requires, for security purposes, for you to take a selfie and to take a picture of the back and the front of your driver's license. We're at U-Haul in the dark in this sketchy area, and we cannot rent the truck because the Obama phone that she's using will not take a clear enough picture of her driver's license, and it won't take a clear enough selfie because the camera is so bad. Finally, we ended up getting the truck. We drive to her storage unit. Keep in mind, storage closes at 9. You're not supposed to be there past 9. We got there at like 8 o'clock. The reason why we're moving all these things is because she doesn't want to pay the storage fees anymore. Since she has a new apartment, she can store it back at her new apartment. Everything in the storage unit has been contaminated by rats. We're moving all this from her storage into her new apartment. It's a brand new apartment. I would not bring any of this stuff. It's just got rat poop everywhere. Everything is trash, but she's trying to save money. Everything's been eaten by rats. There's rat poop and pee on everything. There's nothing in the entire storage unit that hasn't been affected by rats. Remember, I'm a reseller, so I've sold a lot of junk. There's a lot of junk in this unit. There's not one thing in that entire storage unit that I could have sold. The apartment building that she's moving into is a brand new building. It's got brand new toilets, walls, sinks, kitchen, everything. And she wants to take all this rat-infested, contaminated things and move it into her brand new apartment. There's boxes and boxes of canned goods and spaghetti and pasta. Everything's expired or been eaten through by rats, and she wants to keep and preserve all of it. So you're gonna bring all this stuff to the new place?
Yeah, and then sort it out. Because I don't have time to sort it. I'm selling the sleeping bag.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't bring any water with me, and I was so thirsty moving stuff out of her storage unit. She had bottles of water that were stored in there. There was even rat poop on the bottled water. The hardest part about doing this job, besides the rat infestation, was determining what's trash and what is she going to keep. It's really bothering me. I can't understand why she would want to keep all this trash. She's been living in her van for a while, and I tell her, don't you just want to start free and have a clean slate? You got this brand new apartment. Why do you want to keep these hundreds of shopping bags and bottles of Dial soap and laundry detergent? Everything's expired. None of these chemicals are safe. And I ask her, and she tells me the reason why she's keeping it is because she can't afford to buy these things again when she needs them. The whole time I'm helping her, I'm just wondering, is there going to be an issue when I need to get paid? We have two piles going. One pile is trash, and the other pile is items that she's going to bring with her. I keep trying to throw away these cardboard boxes that have been eaten through by the rats, and they're pretty much disintegrating, but she wants to keep them. She keeps asking me if I want things, and I have to keep saying no, because maybe at one point it was useful, but now it's just destroyed. There was this little teapot, and she asked me if I wanted it. I said yes, because I figured I could put some bleach on it and clean it. Then she asked if we could take that off what she owes me, like take a couple dollars off the $200. The trash is starting to accumulate, so we need to make a trash run. This storage unit does not have a dumpster where you can just go throw things away. Where are we going to put all this stuff? She said, oh, there's a bowling alley, and there's a dumpster behind the bowling alley. We're just going to go throw it there. That's illegal dumping. I do not feel comfortable taking all this trash and putting it on somebody else's property. The whole time I'm just praying, God, please give me patience. Help me get through this night. The U-Haul station does not allow you to pick up a truck and then leave your vehicle there. It's in a sketchy area, and it's San Diego, so there's no parking anywhere. I had to take my truck and leave it at the trolley station. This particular station, the 8th Street trolley station, is in a crime-infested neighborhood. It's a really bad area. It's getting late. It's taking way longer than I thought it was going to take. The trolley stopped running at 2 a.m. I don't feel comfortable leaving my truck parked illegally in one of the highest auto theft areas in the country. The unit is almost empty. I've cleared out everything. I'm about to be finished. Then she surprises me and tells me she has another unit on the 3rd floor, and we need to go clear out that unit. She says, don't worry, the other unit is only half the size of this one. So we go upstairs, and yes, the unit is half the size of the other one. Everything is piled to the ceiling 8 feet high. So we go up to the next unit, and it's all the same stuff. Cardboard boxes full of pasta that the rats have gone through. You can't eat that pasta anymore. Shopping bags, canned food, old shampoo that's dripping out of the bottle, receipts and paperwork, but the paperwork's all junk mail that you would just throw away. Dried fruit from who knows where, but the fruit's so old it looks like fossils. Sleeping bags that were probably good at one time, but now they're all chewed up by rats. There's white fabric that probably was good at one point, but now it's a dark yellow. Old chocolate and candy that's crumbling. There's no way this can be good. Oh my gosh, that's scary. Non-working electronics like alarm clocks and old laptops. It was disgusting. We got to make a dump run, so we fill the wagons up with trash. The bowling alley's closed. There's like 3 cars in the parking lot. I'm feeling so uncomfortable dumping all her trash in somebody else's dumpster. We must have been caught on camera because a guy comes out who's either the owner or the manager. He says, I want you to take everything you threw in that dumpster and get it out of here. My heart is racing so fast. I'm so scared. So I start taking things out of the dumpster and putting it back on the dolly. She's telling the guy how she's homeless and how she doesn't have anywhere to put the trash. And the guy says, lady, it's not my problem. Apparently I wasn't moving fast enough. The guy physically climbs inside the dumpster and starts grabbing things. Some of the things weren't even ours, and starts throwing it at me. There was a toaster oven that I didn't want to throw away, so I set it outside the dumpster. I grabbed that toaster oven and I threw it as hard as I could at the guy. He fell over in the dumpster after I hit him, and then me and her just ran back to storage. The U-Haul was parked in the back of the building, so if the cops did come, they would see that the business is closed, so they wouldn't even know that we were back there. At this point, it's about 2 in the morning. I just want to finish and go to sleep. I'm exhausted. The original plan was to fill up the U-Haul, bring it to her new apartment, unload it, and then drive the U-Haul back to the U-Haul. It's already 4 in the morning. It's going to take me another 6 hours to unload this U-Haul. The new plan is to drive the U-Haul back to the trolley station where my truck's parked, then finish the job the next day when she gets out of work at 6. Remember, I haven't gotten paid yet, and she owes me $200. So the plan is for us to take the U-Haul, go to the ATM, and she's going to get the money. It's 5 in the morning. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm dirty. I just want to go to the gym, shower, and then go to sleep. We went to the ATM. She's at the ATM for 15 minutes. My patience was drawing thin. We drive to the trolley station where my truck is parked and her van is also parked there. We park at the trolley station and we're discussing how we're going to finish the job the next day. She still has not paid me and she's about to get out of the U-Haul and go to her van. Finally, I just said, hey, can I please get my money? She says, well, and I'm thinking, well, why am I hearing a well? I just loaded a 12-foot U-Haul of all your stuff, worked in hazardous conditions, and now I'm hearing a well when I want to get paid? My whole life, I've never been good at collecting from people. If you owe me something, I just want you to give it to me. I don't want to have to go try to get it from you. I wish I would have recorded this. She says, can I give you half now and then the other half when the job is done? I said, no, I just worked 12 hours. 50 of that is going in my gas tank. I said, that's $150 for 12 hours, no breaks. I said, you're still paying me under minimum wage. I don't have the time to argue with her, but I'm thinking, do you really think I'm going to come back the next day, spend 6 hours unloading this U-Haul, and you're just going to give me a flat $200? No, there's no way. But I was way too tired. I just decided I was going to deal with it the next day. I called my mom and I told her what happened, and I just wanted to get her advice on what I should do. I told my mom how she was being cheap and stingy with the money, and my mom said there's a big difference between being cheap and being greedy, and she's being greedy. I knew that she was going to expect me to finish the job for free, but that was not the agreement. When we were loading the truck, we had access to the dollies because they were part of the storage unit. She said that she can go buy a dolly at Home Depot, but I told her I can find one easy for cheap on Marketplace. My mom told me to charge her $300 at minimum to unload the truck, which is still way cheaper than anybody else. And I need to drive the truck. Nobody else is going to drive that truck for her. She gets off work and she texts me. She asked me if I'm going to come like I was expecting. But again, she doesn't mention anything about pay. I told her I need $300 and I need you to hire somebody else to help me because this is a 2-person job. There's no way I can do this by myself. I said, I have a friend, Josh. I can go pick him up, but I need you to give him $100. She said, no, we don't need him. I can help you unload the truck. No offense, but she's a senior citizen. There's no way she's going to help me unload that big truck. Again, I told her I can't do this by myself. I need help. I can pick up Josh, but I need you to pay him $100. She said, okay, but I'm only going to pay him $50. Josh is such a nice guy and he's hurting for money that he probably would do it for $50. But there's no way I'm going to ask him to do this job and only give him $50. I just won't do it. I ask her again to give him $100 and she won't do it. She won't budge. We don't have a dolly. We still need to buy one. Then I remember I have a dolly that I'm selling and it's in my storage. I always find things in the trash at storage. And a few weeks ago, somebody threw away a dolly. It was broken when I found it, but I fixed it. It's made of steel and it's really nice. So I decided since she won't pay Josh $100, I'll take the dolly that I'm selling, which I was actually selling it for $75. I'll charge her $50 for the dolly and then give Josh $100. So I'm basically giving Josh $50 out of my pocket. That's the new plan. I go pick up Josh and we drive down to where the U-Haul's at. My mom told me that if I'm going to charge her, I need to get the money up front. That way we don't have to worry about getting paid at the end of the job. She agrees that she'll pay us before the job starts, but you can tell she is not happy about it. Me and Josh get there. We're ready to start working. And I said, all right, can I have my money? She says, oh, I still haven't gone to the ATM yet. Me and Josh start working. She walks down to the ATM. She comes back from the ATM and she still hasn't given me any money. I go up and I said, listen, I said, this is really stressing us out. Can you please just pay us so we don't have to worry about this? I said, last night you tried to give me half. I said, I don't want to deal with anything. Can you please just pay us? The exact total should be $300. $200 for me, $50 for Josh, $50 for the dolly. She gives me the money, I count it, and it's $250. I said, why would you give me $250? You know it's $50 for the dolly. She says, well, I don't think the dolly's worth $50. I said, it's not about the dolly. I said, it's about having a tool to finish the job. I said, if you go to U-Haul and rent a dolly, it's $20. And then a furniture dolly is $77. This dolly is better, it's cheaper, and you don't have to return it, you get to keep it. You know what she says? She says, I don't have space for that, and I don't like the way it looks. I couldn't believe she said that. The dolly is probably the nicest thing in that entire apartment. So now she's very upset that she has to go back to the ATM. I feel cheated, disrespected, and taken advantage of. She comes back from the ATM and she says, he's not even working, he's just sitting outside. I'm thinking, what does it matter if he's sitting outside? We're getting paid for the job, not the hour. She says, before I give you the other $50, I want him to sign this contract. I said, he doesn't need to sign anything. I said, you're not paying him. I said, you're paying me, and then I'm paying him. She says, well, then you need to sign the contract. Then she doesn't like my signature. I'm like, what is a signature supposed to look like? I just feel bad for the people that live there. It's a senior citizen building, and all that stuff she's bringing in there is contaminating the air for these old people, and they have weak immune systems. She really is a nice lady. She's okay, but a nightmare to do business with. I felt bad for her. I told her, you can't live like this. If you want me to just come back with a truck and bring everything to the dump, I said, we can do that so you can have a fresh start and just start over. You could tell she was overwhelmed with all that stuff, but she's too invested in it. She's been paying $100 a month for the last 10 years, so all this garbage has value to her. Me and Josh ended up finishing the job. If I would have done it by myself, probably would have taken me 7 or 8 hours. With Josh, we got it done in 3 hours. But even now, it's going to take me 3 more hours to go wash all those clothes that are contaminated. I wish I would have recorded more, but here's some video footage from the job. Can you please go to the ATM so that we don't have to stress out? He's asking me, and like, it's very stressful.
Why is that his money?
Because I'm paying him. I'm using my money because you didn't pay me what I was supposed to get. So now I have to take my money to give him.
Okay, so you already have, well, 95% of it. On our way to drop off, can you just let me get off and go to the ATM and get $50?
On the way to where?
To drop off the truck.
You're going to go drop off the truck?
No, because I have to use my app to return it, like the way I checked out.
No, I drop it off and then you do it on your phone. You don't need to be there with the app.
Are you sure?
Yes. Why would you need to be there?
Because whatever I need to do on the phone.
You just do it. I saw other people. They were putting them on the street. I'm going to put it on the street. I'm going to take the key. I'm going to drop the key in the box. And then you're going to go on the app and you're going to click return.
You already found where is the nearest one?
I'm dropping it off back at 8th Street. Or back at the place where I got it.
That's not near in downtown?
There is, but I have to go get my truck.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's stressful, him asking me, so can you please just get it so that we don't have to be stressed out? It's really like stressing us out. Because that was the plan, and you haven't honored the plan.
I give you 95%.
No, you gave us 75%.
It's $50.
I know, but I just don't. It's like, but I said when we come back, can you pay us? You said yes, I will pay you when you get the truck. Now we've already got the truck. Now we're already moving stuff. I don't want to have to wait until the end, or I just want to get it over with. We're already I've gone out of my way to do all this stuff. I didn't want to come here, but I did just to help you.
So I will go. Why you think like I'm gonna like run away?
I don't think you're gonna run away, but it's stressing us out. I just want to get it over with.
So get it over with.
Yeah, I just don't like being stressed out. He's asking me about it, and I'm like,
what is he, a child?
No, but he's homeless and he doesn't have any money.
So that's why I give him a job and just like do the job. Like I wouldn't like run away.
No, I'm paying him out of my money. You're giving him 50. I'm giving him 50. I'm trying to help her, but she's making it really hard. I'm going to sign it.
On behalf of him. Write his full name. to sign your name and write his name also, because you pay him, but you don't have to talk to me like I don't work for you.
I think he's just, I didn't tell him about all the rodent stuff. I think he didn't know that there was going to be all the rodent stuff. I didn't tell him that, because honestly, I thought if I told him about the rodent stuff, that he wouldn't help. So he's probably just mad about all of the rat.
But I just hope that he keep moving, because he's sitting there the whole time.
We're leaving together. We're doing this. This is the job. We're doing it.
So you know I'm a reasonable person, but
I know.
this rubbed me off the wrong way. Sitting there and telling me I don't work for you.
Don't worry about him. We're moving boxes in here. Don't worry about him. You're never going to see him again. All right. All right, Sue, that's everything. So I just want to tell you, that's everything. And there's nothing downstairs. All there is there's some empty cardboard boxes in the lobby. I don't know if you can put those in the trash, but that's all that's there. Everything's out.
I need help with this heavy stuff.
Okay. Hey, and I'm just gonna tell you, if this gets too overwhelming, honestly, I think a good idea would just be to dump everything. I can come with a truck and we could just bring everything to the dump, because this is gonna get too overwhelming. You can't live like this. You can't do this. Eventually, you have to just